welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Coleen and this is Lochabay Stitches and this is Flosstube number 12. So happy Tuesday again. Every week it seems like Tuesday comes faster and faster. So last night I was rushing around trying to get like everything in order for today and I'm like, wasn't it just Tuesday? But yeah, every week faster and faster. So I'm not sure about at your house how things are going, but March Madness is over for us. So Michigan State lost their first game. That was very sad. Only to be followed up a couple days later by Texas losing their game. So as far as for us, March Madness is over. So I had to find a new team to root for so I could continue watching. And I think I've latched myself onto the Oral Roberts team. I watched their first game, and I'm telling you, these guys were, like, I don't know how far they're going to go in the tournament, because I think they're, like, one of the lowest, like, rated seeds. But, those guys really played their hearts out. They were diving all over the court, diving for balls, like, playing like their life depended on that game, which it kind of does, but, yeah, I really like how they play and how they're approaching their games in this, tournament. And hopefully that will translate into more success for them. But they made it to the Sweet 16 and they should be super proud of that. So yeah, that's my new team. So go Oral Roberts. So you have a new bandwagon fan for the rest of the tournament. So yeah. Let me know how your team is doing. There's a lot of the big teams that lost out already. So it's always nice to see like teams that you wouldn't expect get farther. But I always worry about that once it gets, like, if they run into, like, a Gonzaga or a Michigan somewhere down the line. It's not probably going to be good. But anyway, enough of that. So, yeah, this week I got a whole bunch of things to show you. First, I'll start with some of the things that I got in the mail. So, I think I showed a while ago that I ordered these from Nuts About Needle Minders. It's a website from over in the UK. But I originally ordered... it's kind of mocked up right now, but a counting pin. And it's a little frog. I don't know if you can see him. But right now he just has a tape. I need to get some epoxy because I ordered a tail tucker. And somebody had asked before what a tail tucker is. It's kind of hard to see, but it's like a little tiny thin piece of wire that's split in the middle. So you run it underneath the stitches in the back of your stitching. If you have like a little piece that either comes untucked or you stitch down too far like I always do. So you run this underneath your stitches, pull the tail through there, and then just pull it through. So makes it easy to secure pieces of thread. But this one's also a little frog, and if you can see, like, there's a little like jewel above and below. So now I have a set. So I have a pair of frogs. So there's a counting pin and a tail tucker. So I have those, and then still coming in the mail, I ordered a couple needle minders. So those should be coming hopefully sometime this week. So I'll wait to describe what those are going to be. But one I couldn't resist just because it was so darn cute, and the other one was a necessity. So yeah, she's got a couple more on there I've got my eye on too. So I think I'm like gonna turn into a needle minder collector because there's so many cute ones. So not that I need one more thing to collect, but hey, does it really ever hurt? No. So anyway, some other things that came in the mail. So I ended up getting my Tudor bee. I accidentally left the pattern in the other room. But I also ordered the sleeping bee from the blue flower. So I have those, obviously, just because my last name is pronounced Lochabay. So, like bees. So yeah, so I got that one. So Tudor bee, which I'll show my starting progress on that. And then I did order quilting bee too. So that one will just go in the stash for later. And then off of the, at my local needlework shop, off of the market table, I did end up getting Lucy Beam, Call for the Doctor. It's kind of hard to, the picture's a little, but it's the lady, like the verse with the alligator purse. So yeah, I just think it's really cute. So I'll find time to stitch that one up sometime. I don't know when, but I was just too cute to pass up. And then, oh, I got also, this was from Etsy, but these I couldn't resist. Even though I'm not done with my other monthly patterns from Snowflower Diaries, I'm about halfway through the year, so why not start a new one, right? So these came from, it's Italian, so if anybody can help me pronounce it. I did one of those pronunciation things, but it didn't sound right. But I'll just show you the name of the pattern. It's Crocetta a Go-Go. And I think in Italian that means stitches a go-go. But yeah, so she is, I think it's a she, is doing some monthly patterns and has January through April up. So I won't show these because obviously the patterns, but I'll put a link below so you can go look at the photos. But yeah, right now January through April is up. So that means I need to get busy, but they're super cute, really, really cute. And maybe I'll pop up a picture right over here while I'm talking about it. But yeah, I couldn't resist. I saw those. My stepmom had sent me a couple pictures of some other patterns from them. So of course I go scrolling through and I'm like, oh no. Oh yes, it happened. So I have all the fabric cut for all 12 months. I'm just going to use a 28 count like tea dyed linen. So that's what they'll go on. So I have all the months cut. So I'll probably start on that this weekend. I'll just start with January. Maybe I'll start with April and then just work in reverse. Who knows? But anyways, so that was pretty much all that came in the mail. The only thing I'm waiting for is, I am waiting for a couple things. The quilting bee from Blue Flower. I'm still waiting for my Easter hoopla, but that might be in the mailbox, but I haven't checked in a couple of days. And then my needle minders. So not too much else out there. But speaking of that, my credit card got compromised like about a week ago. And which is crazy. I get that it happens. There's scammers out there that get a hold of your numbers one way or the other. But what's really creepy is this time, not only did they use my credit card fraudulently, but a package showed up at my house. And I would really love to know how scammers get your home address. That's kind of creepy. But so then I had to go around and around with the scam company, which is probably where it originated, to get rid of that problem. But what a mess. Has anybody else had that happen? Because it disturbs me. Like for a couple of days, like it bothered me to the point where I was having trouble getting other things done because that was all in my mind till it was kind of resolved. But I hate when that happens because it just feels like a huge violation. But anyway, so I think I'm going to get, how that all ties back into when I start buying things on the internet, I think I'm going to go buy a prepaid card and only use that for online purchases because it's too much of a mess and too much of a hassle because I'm going to guess that that's how they got my numbers. But anyways, so yeah, so that's how I'll do anything else that I buy like in the future. So next, let's work on my one finish for my 1 a week challenge. So I'm almost caught up. So if I get something finished this week, then I will be all caught up with my 1 a week challenge, which is just my personal challenge to try to finish one cross stitch completely a week. So I've been trying to pick out projects that aren't too big, but not like too small either, I guess. So this is from Stitchy Kitty. It was from Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine, and I'll put the link below, but it's Woodland Critters. Just a little one, but it's so cute. So I'll probably hang this up with all of my other like Noah's Arks and stuff like that just because it's animals. But yeah, it's just cute. But yeah, so I was happy to get that one done. And it stitched up pretty fast. A lot of color changes, so not as fast as you would think because it's kind of small, but it's super cute when it was done. So I was glad that I picked that one out to do. So the next one I'll show, this one I just randomly picked up. I think I showed last week, I bought the Dreaming Girl stitch along pattern from Barbara Ana. And of course, I hadn't looked at her stuff in a long time. So yeah, I found a couple other things to pick out to stitch. But this one I couldn't resist to start. I really like her like Dreaming Girls. So she has another one that's I think it's called Dreaming of Clint. How do you say that? But so this is Cup of Frida. So that's how far I got. It's about half done. So pretty much from here, her face is done, and I just have to finish like the flowers and stuff coming up the top of the head. I say that only. I mean, there's still quite a bit left to go, but it's about half done. So, but that's all that's left up there. And it's supposed to be a cup, obviously, from the title Cup of Frida. But I think I'm going to leave the handle off just because I like the other one where it just looks like a girl dreaming, and so she could be like dreaming of Frida. So I'm renaming her pattern. Sorry about that, Barbara Ana. But no, I really, really hope that she continues this series of her dreaming girls, because I really like them. So yeah, so I probably should have been stitching on some other stuff, but I really wanted to start working on her because I liked her. So next was from the Blue Flower, Tudor B, and I think I pulled almost an all-nighter. I started stitching, and it was maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, all right, I have to quit, but I wanted to keep going. But yeah, if I wanted to get stuff done the next day, I needed to get a few hours sleep. But anyways, it's her new pattern from the market from, it's Tudor B. So that's how far I've gotten. And the fabric that I chose, it was from Pictureless Plus, I think. And it's kind of hard to see. Every time I photograph it, it's like a spring, like grass green over dyed color. I just want to try something different. I had done a floss toss, and I at first thought I was going to do it on just like a raw kind of linen. And then I was just digging around and found this piece. And I thought, you know what? Let me do something different that I normally wouldn't pick out. And I think I'm going to be happy with it. I really like it. So the colors look fine on it. So yeah, so I'll be excited to get this one done, because I also want to do her spring pillow from the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. So, and I think that there's also like a swan, one that has swans on it. There's so much. But yeah, so I got a good start on that one. I really like that. And I have a couple, obviously, other Blue Flower patterns that I want to keep going on. And my last work in progress is the Barbara Ana Stitch Along the Dreaming Girl. And I really didn't get that much more done on it. I got a little bit more under here done. So you can blame Frida for that. But yeah, so she's so pretty too. I can't wait to finish her. So I need to spend some time on her this weekend to get the other part, the part 4 that just came out, done. Like get it all caught up so that when part 5 comes out, it'll be ready to go. And then the only other thing I started, and I left the envelope in the other room, so I'll share it on Instagram later. But I did do one more start this week, which is really bad. I'm not sure exactly what I'm thinking doing this, but I've just been so caught up with all these cool new patterns. But I decided mid-March that I wanted to do a 2021 temperature calendar. So I was trying to like pick one out, and I think I'm gonna do one like Jardin Prive does. If you look on their Instagram page, and I'll put a link below, they did one of houses, and I really think that's really cute. And why I wanted to do it is, well, after I saw it, I was like, that's a really cute idea. But we've had a lot of temperature fluctuations this year in Texas that aren't really, I would say, normal for us. So I think it would give a good variation for the colors. So I picked out all my colors, and I put a little sneak peek on Instagram, but I picked out all my colors and started last night. So I have, I'm going to do like the first 2 letters of each month. So it'll say like JA for January. Then I stitched a couple houses, but I need to go through my calendar. I want to chart my own like little motifs. So instead of like, I think they use like a little car, which is super cute. But my husband drives a truck and I drive a Jeep. So I think it'd be really cute to chart out like a little Jeep. So when we throw the dog in the back and go somewhere. And then chart out, you know, like birthdays and stuff like that. There's a few months though that there's a lot of birthdays in my family, even like in January. So I'm trying to figure out how to not keep stitching a cake over and over. Like other little motifs that I could pick up. But I'm going to pattern mine after how they did theirs, because I just think it's so cute. So yeah, so hopefully next week I'll have a little progress on that. I want to get through, maybe they stitch up so quick, so try to get through January so I can show like what my plans are for that. So yeah. But I was just, maybe if anybody else is doing one, share the pattern that you're using, because I think that would be something that I wouldn't mind doing every year, because they're really quick if you have little motifs and stuff like that. So yeah, so super excited today because I actually have 2 fully framed objects. So I was like super excited this morning to show these, and really happy with how they came out. So the first one is from Cherry Hill Stitchery, and it was Love You to the Moon and Back. And this is the one that I started probably 6 weeks ago, and then I accidentally forgot about. So I'm not sure how that happens, but so this is how it came out. So there's two little birds, and when I mounted them on the branches, I kind of canted them. So this one kind of leans forward a little bit, and then so they're kind of like peeking around the edge of the frame looking at each other. And then the inside of the frame is kind of like dyed around the edge to kind of give like that storybook look. And I was gonna add a heart or a flower or something else, but I don't think it needs it. I think it's just enough just to have the birds. And just to correct from last week, one of my friends had contacted me this week, and she's like, I love your birds, but she was like, it doesn't have to be a boy and a girl. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Love comes in all different forms. So these are just two birds in love. So yeah. So, but I just think it just came out super cute. So I'll give you a little close up of the two birds. But yeah, and it kind of happened. It was a happy accident. When I drilled the hole for this one, it wasn't straight. So when I stuck him in, I was like, ah. But then I'm like, wait, he looks kind of cute leaning forward. So this is what I was talking about, how sometimes when you do stuff, like things evolve or like little happy accidents come. Because now, like if in person when you're looking at it, it does look like the two birds are like peeking around the front of the frame to like look at each other. So super happy with how this one came out. And then this is the back. I still have to put a hanger on it, but I need my husband to help me because if I lay it flat on a table, because of the way these are mounted on, I would smash them. So I need him to hold it while I hammer. But anyways, I found a really cute piece of paper with some like hearts and vines and stuff like that. So that's the first one. So, and then this one has to be one of the favorite frames that I've ever made. And it just came out really cute. But this was from Stitchy Kitty. The dog did it, and it's for my dog Sam. But this is how it came out. So give you a close up, and this is the one that I carved. So like if you like see, these are like, it's actually like, see if you can see it carved, so it looks like they're like boards overlapping, and then the little water bowl actually just comes off. But here's a close up of the chicken, and then the chicken is, I'll turn it, the chicken's two-sided, so you can look at him from both sides of the frame. But yeah, I'm super excited with how this one came out. And then it's hard to see, but it just sits up on the table. So I'll use this one as a stand-up frame. But yeah, probably one of my most favorite frames that I've ever made. Maybe it's because it's for the dog. I don't know. But every time I keep like sitting there, I'm like, I can't stop looking at it. It's so cute. So yeah, so I'm super excited that I got two things done this week. So I'm going to try and translate that into motivation to start pulling some other stuff out and getting it done. So yeah, so very happy with how this week went. So that's about it as far as stitching and framing went this week. Coming up this week, I have a busy week. So I still have schoolwork to do. I'm in my last quarter and then I graduate, but it's kind of intense. There's a lot of revisions, stuff like that to do. And I'm working on a cut paper project. So that takes a lot of time trying to like pull things apart and putting it back together again. So then I have to finish a job. I actually have like a paid job that I have to finish this week too. So that takes a little priority over stitching and framing. And then tomorrow, Sam has to go for his vet checkup, his checking for his eyes and allergies and all the other parts of him. So tomorrow we get to do that. So that always takes up a big chunk of my day. But then for the rest of the week, hopefully I'll be able to pick out some more things to get done. I really don't have anything specific that I've picked out yet for framing. I'm going to go through and maybe just randomly pick a couple things from the closet that you may or may not have seen yet. And it also just depends on what I get finished. If I get Frida finished, I might try and get her framed out because I have a cute idea for her. So, and then out in the garage, Bent Creek, Made in the USA is still waiting. So I think he's waited long enough. So we will, I will try and get that one finished too. So other than that, and then get out in the yard. We started a project on the top of our yard, clearing out like all the brush, and there was some picker bushes up there that I had to get cleared out so the dog didn't get into them. But that's only half done. So yard work. But that's about it. So hopefully you have a great week too. Let me know in the comments like what you're working on this week. What do you have going on in your life? Whatever. I'm always up for a great chit chat. And thanks for all the wonderful comments about the framing. And then somebody did suggest too that I probably will coming up. I have to make a trip, so 1 week I might not be able to film. So I'm thinking about doing is film one in advance. Somebody had asked about like framing, so I might do like a little how I do certain things, or what you can do, how to do it, and maybe a little tour of all my tools in the garage and stuff like that. Just a little sneak peek behind the scenes and how I still have all or almost all 10 of my fingers, which sometimes is a mystery, but yeah, so I'm thinking about doing that. And then one day I still need to do like a little tour of how I have everything organized in my little workspace. So, okay, so that's about it for today. Hope you have a great week and happy stitching. Bye.